Namaste. Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to your 60 minutes of Smart Flow Yoga. My name's Tiffany, and if you're joining us on Zoom today, welcome. It's great to see everybody. And if you're joining us on Yoga Salt Facebook or YouTube channels, hello. Make sure after this that you go check out the Bodhi YouTube channel and subscribe to it so that if you missed yesterday's class, or if you want to check out some of the other teachers, you can subscribe and catch all of the library of classes that we've been streaming for the last couple days. So we're going to get started today. And if you have a block, go ahead and sit on a block, and we're going to come into Virasana. So I like to grab a block and oftentimes place it this way so that your sit bones have some sort of ground. If your knees are tender, you can always elevate the blocks. My friend Heather Seiniger said that we can also grab some encyclopedias or books and just stack those high. So find something that allows you to feel elevated, supported, and then sit up tall. As you take a big inhale through the nose, relax the shoulders and just sigh out the mouth, let it go. And then again, inhale. Feel the weight of your feet, your shins, your hips. Relax the shoulders as you exhale, let that go. And then just one more. Ground into your roots. Feel the feet, the shins pressing. Inhale, lift your spine a little taller, as if the back of the skull could lift up above the spine. And then just relax the shoulders again as you exhale. And if you haven't already, turn the hands to the palms face down, and then just slide your hands back to where your thighs and your hips meet. Your elbows will bend, and then just relax the shoulders away from the ears as you do so. Feel the weight of your elbows sinking, and the bottom tips of your shoulder blades lifting your chest a little higher to the sky. Take a big full inhale again, and this time with your mouth closed, a simple, steady exhale. Feel the gentle weight of your hands anchoring the thighs down deep into their hamstrings. Feel a sense of your sit bones rooting, your feet anchoring. And then against that, just your spine with every breath, lifting and lengthening skyward. And then when you're ready, inhale, reach your arms forward in space. Go ahead and interlace your fingers, flip your palms, straighten those elbows, and reach those arms all the way up towards the sky. And then just side stretch over to one side. And then inhale, come back up and side stretch over to the other side. And then inhale, come back up. This time you're going to interlace your hands behind your head. And as you interlace your hands behind your head, relax the shoulders down away from the ears. Lean your head ever so gently back into the hands so your elbows wrap forward in space. And as those elbows wrap forward, lift your elbows up towards the sky. And if you can, we'll be here for a couple breaths. Feel again the feet pressing. Could you roll your inner thighs down, and from your hip points, connect all the way to your elbows and lean your head back a little bit more, and maybe the gaze will start to lift up. Feel the weight of your head resting in the support of your hands. And then allow your rib cage to lift a little taller towards the sky. I want you to keep this length you just created and bring your head back upright so your gaze is forward. And then exhale, just twist towards the right. And as you twist towards the right, can you relax the shoulders away from the ears? Can you still spread them wide, reaching out through the elbows? Take another inhale, stay here. Twist a little bit deeper, lift to the left side of your waist, roll with the right ribs. We'll do that one more time, you guys. Inhale, get taller. Beautiful, exhale, deepen the twist. And then inhale, come back to center. And then exhale over towards the other side. Notice how the head and the neck want to turn really easily. So find the center spot where your chin rests in front of your sternum. And then press into your feet as you inhale right sideways so we get taller. Exhale, we deepen the twist. One more like that. Inhale, lift through the right side of the waist. Feel the neck soft. And exhale, deepen the twist. Come back to center as you inhale. And then reach those straight arms all the way up towards the sky. and interlace your fingers behind your back. You're going to keep your hands resting on your sacrum, on your back body, so that your elbows are bent. Pull your shoulders and your elbows way back to the wall behind you. There's a feeling of squeezing your elbows together. Can you find that? Beautiful. And as the elbows squeeze together, can you try to pull your shoulder blades apart? So elbows coming closer, shoulder blades widening. And then create that more lift to the spine. Just drop your right ear to your right shoulder. Pull the left shoulder down the back. And then inhale, come back up, and we'll go over to the other side, left ear to left shoulder, and then anchor that right shoulder down the back. And then come back to center. This time reach your arms forward in space. Reach your arms all the way up towards the sky. You're going to interlace your fingers again behind your head. Good. And then feel the head leaning into the hands. Let your elbows widen apart from one another. And then keep your head leaning back. All you're going to do is move your hands back away from your head. Keep the elbows reaching way back, and now straighten the elbows. Keep reaching the arms back to the wall behind you, so the arms are reaching back, back, back. And then you're going to internally rotate the arms, so the thumbs will roll down, the palms will roll back, and then start to reach your arms back to the wall behind you. Beautiful, you guys. As you reach your arms way back, can you actually try to lift your hands and slide the shoulders down again? I'll repeat that. Can you lift your hands higher and pull the shoulders down? And then all we're going to do here with the arms reaching back, bend your elbows, bring your fingers to touch without behind your back, without resting on your back body. Lean the head back, feel the sternum anchoring. Pull the shoulders to the wall behind you. And then reach those straight arms back again, straighten the elbows, fingers to the wall behind you. Allow the neck to soften. Could you lift your hands higher and your shoulders lower? And now we're going to externally rotate the arms, so the palms will start to roll to the sides of the room, thumbs up. Keep reaching your arms back and then go wide and all the way up towards the sky. And then exhale, release, bring your hands together in front of your heart. Take a full breath in. Release your arms by your side, full breath out. Good, go ahead and come up onto your shins. And with your hips right over your knees, we'll just stay upright for a couple breaths on your shins. Reach your arms forward in space, my favorite. Hook your thumbs. Press your feet down more than your knees. Feel what that does to the hamstrings and your glutes. Keep your feet heavy. Anchor your hip points all the way up towards your navel, and then feel your ribs anchor towards your knees. So you're trying to shorten the front of your spine. Take a full breath. Press into your feet, and then exhale, hinge at your knee joint. Hinge your spine back. Beautiful, Will. Nice, you guys. And then press down into your feet. Inhale, come back upright. And then again, exhale, hinging. Feel your feet press more than the knees. Coil the hip points up. And then exhale, we come back. We're going to do 3 more. Try to find your edge and maybe go past it. Reaching back, hinging. So shorten the front of your spine, lengthen through the back spine. And press into the feet, exhale, come back up. 2 more, hinging as we inhale. Nice. And press into the feet as we exhale. Last one, we're going to hold it, you guys. Press into your feet, hinge back. Continue to breathe here. Try to hug your ankles in like you had a block between your feet still. Relax the shoulders. Could you lean your chest back a little bit more and feel your low belly, beautiful Janine, gathering in so you can lengthen the lumbar spine more. Hinge back 1 more inch. And then press into your feet. Inhale, come all the way up. Nice job. Hands and knees. And we'll begin with just a couple rounds of cat-cow. So if you want to take a moment and straighten your right leg, so there's just breath behind the back of your knee. And then release that leg, and then we'll do the other side. And then both knees to the floor, both hands to the floor. Use the inhale, open the front chest. Use the exhale, push into the feet as you round. Continue, inhale, let the front of your spine open. Keep pressing into the feet as you exhale, round. And just a couple more, inhaling, shoulders away from the ears. And exhale, feel the tops of the feet, the tops of the shins ground. One more. Inhale. Shoulders away from the ears. And exhaling. Beautiful, you guys. And then stay in this exhale shape. Press into your feet a little bit more. Like you had a block between your feet. Hug the ankles in. So stay lifting the hip points, nice. Rounding the low back. And with your arms straight, your head dropping, could you lift your knees an inch off the floor right here? So the tops of your feet are down. Lift the frontal hip points. Beautiful, you guys. Feel the tailbone anchoring, the low belly scooping and lifting. And now keep this lift in the lower body. Look forward with your chest. And then lower your knees down. Curl your toes under, downward facing dog. Exhale. Let's all rise high up onto the balls of the feet. And then swivel your heels over to one side, the toes to the other. And just yawn out your side body. And then inhale, come back up, and we'll go over to the other side. Push the floor away with those straight arms. Send your hips way back towards your feet. And then inhale, come back up. And downward facing dog. Ground into your hands. Press into the first finger, knuckle, and thumb. And there's a feeling of trying to make a wrinkle down the center of your mat with your wrists. And then against that, spread the shoulders wide apart again. Slide forward as you inhale. Shift into your plank pose. And then push down into your hands, lift your low belly, pull back to downward facing dog. We're just gonna do that 2 more times, you guys. Inhale, shift forward into plank. Keep the lift of the front body. And exhale, lift up as you pull back to your dog. And then 1 more. Inhale, shifting forward. And exhale, pulling back. Beautiful, you guys. Everybody shift forward into your plank pose. Pause here on the exhale. Feel the sense of the hands pressing, the low bottom ribs and the belly lifting against that work. And then shift forward slowly, lower chaturanga. As you lower down, drag the hands back, drag the elbows back, and all the way to the mat. Let's come into Sphinx pose, you guys. Point your toes. Walk the elbows forward so they're under the shoulders. And as you press into the hands, same work, just like chaturanga. Try to pull and coil the arms back towards your feet. And let the spine, the thoracic spine, move forward towards the fingertips. Find the most bottom tips of your shoulder blades, anchor them into the chest, and let the collarbones float up towards the sky. When we work the reach of the chest forward, you can feel that the sides of the neck, the throat, the ears lean back. Beautiful, you guys. And then feel the anchoring of your hip points. Reach your right leg so far back it lifts. Roll your inner thigh a little higher, and then try to touch the wall behind you with that lifted leg. And then exhale, place the foot down. Left foot, it lifts like you're reaching it back. Inner thigh, inner knee, big toe rolls higher. And then exhale, place it down. And then lower all the way down, exhale. Now we'll take our hands wider than our mats. Come onto your fingertips, and then push into those fingertips. Inhale, coil and lengthen the chest. Reach the elbows back as you lower back down, exhaling. Good, we'll do 2 more like that. Inhale, hands press, feet press. Pull the chest forward. Beautiful. Keep the elbows reaching back as you lower down, exhale. This time we're gonna pause. Inhale, press into the hands, also press into the feet. Continue to breathe. And then just take a look at your right hand. As you do that, pull your left shoulder, elbow back. And then slide over and look at your left hand and pull that right shoulder back. And then maybe it's like a 4-way stop. Make sure both hands are on the same line. And then gaze forward. Keep the arms reaching back. And then all you want you to do is slide your hands in, staying on the fingertips so their hands are under your elbows. And then recommit to the feet pressing. Can you pull your chest forward more and lift those cupped hands up off the mat? And then check in with the low belly, scoop the navel up, coil your chest forward. Lower all the way down, exhale. Beautiful, you guys. Curl your toes under, knees up or down, press to your plank. And downward facing dog, exhale. Go ahead and walk your feet halfway forward to meet your hands. Shift those shoulders right over the wrists. And then start to press into the fingertips, like you were on your cupped hands. Feel your fingers doing just as much work. Hug your forearms in. Lift your chest a little higher as you drop your head. So I'm going to invite you to keep your hands flat. Bend your knees if you need to. Tiptoe your feet as close to your hands as you can. So again, push your hands into the floor. Lift the bottom ribs. Lift your low belly. And then try hovering your right foot just an inch off the floor. Feel how that connects the thigh into the hip socket, the waist up, and then lower that right foot down. Nice, Audrey. And then lift left foot, hover it, sock the hip all the way up towards the sky. And then place that foot down. Everybody drop your brain. See if you can't walk your feet a little closer to your hands. Now keep your hips this high and lower your heels down towards the floor. Inhale is your Ardha, halfway lift. Exhale, we fold. Let's do that one more time, you guys. Inhale is your Ardha. And exhale, fold. Hands to your hips, bend into your knees. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, top. Feet together or apart. When you're ready, arms by your side. Spinning the arms so the palms face forward. Use your inhale, reach the arms wide and up towards the sky. As you exhale, hinge at your hips, reach the chest forward to fold. Inhale, we lengthen front spine. Hands fully flat, step to your plank. Shift forward as we lower chaturanga. Baby cobra or the up dog. Feel the feet press, feel the inner thighs lifting. Come to plank. And then pull your hips back, downward facing dog. Breathing in and breathing out. And so if you need to wiggle, waggle, kind of check in with how the body's feeling. Continue to push the hips further back. Send the inner thighs way back. And against the legs moving back, there's a sense of your chest lifting, your collarbones lengthening. As you rise high up onto your toes, bend your knees, look forward, either step or hop to the top of the mat. As we inhale, we open up the front chest like Sphinx pose. And as we exhale, we fold. Keep the shoulders lifted. And then we rise it up with straight legs. Inhale. Keep that lift you just created as you bring it right into your heart. Exhale. Again, inhale from the ground, slide up. Hinge, keep the chest open as you fold. Inhale is your Ardha. Step to plank, opposite leg. Keep the chest open as you shift forward to lower chaturanga. Again, baby cobra or the up dog. Feel the feet press, lift your inner thighs higher. Then come to your plank with the lift of the legs. And pull back to downward facing dog. Steady the breath in. Long breath out. Good, feel the back of the neck long, the shoulders spreading. As you inhale, extend your right leg up towards the sky. We'll open up the hips and bend your knee. Notice what happens to the left side of the waist. Keep lifting up to the left ribs. And then square everything off to center, you guys. Let your right leg get straight. And then lower your right foot. Let it hover just beside your left. Again, feel the connection of your inner right leg. Exhale, bring your right knee in to touch your nose. Round your spine, shift your shoulders right of your wrists. Try to lower your hips and lift your chest, lift your sternum. And then lower the right foot down between your two hands, foot down. And then you'll lower your left knee down and reach the arm straight up towards the sky. And then take a moment here. I want you to re-ground into your back foot. Press your left shin down into the floor. And as if your left leg was on an elevator, no, on an escalator, a conveyor belt, a people mover. Try to slide isometrically that left knee forward. Feel how that comes more from the foot than your knee. Keep trying to push and slide the foot forward and then work to lift your left hip point up. Right hand to your left wrist and then side stretch over towards the right. And yes, feel the opening through the spine, but also can you recommit to the left foot, continue to pull the left knee forward and lift the left hip point up. You guys feeling a nice little stretch to that front hip? And then inhale, come all the way up. Hands on either side of your front leg. We'll lift the back knee up off the floor, curl the toes under. And then take it into the twist, right arm towards the sky. So work that same sensation through your back foot, lift the heel, lift the root of the thigh, and from that left hip, coil and lengthen the left ribs all the way up to your right fingertips. Take that left shoulder, drive it onto the back body. You have one more breath. Both hands to the floor. Try to get your hands flat, your back leg stronger and straighter. And then without a sound, step to your plank. Exhale, shift forward, lower. Feel the feet press as you inhale into the back bend. Push the feet down, lift the entire back body. That's nice. And then downward facing dog, exhale. Beautiful, you guys. Breathe in and breathe out. And then as you lift your left leg up on the inhalation, feel free to open up your hips and bend your knee. And then continue to lift up more through the right waist. Pull your right thigh bone back. Square it off to center. And as you straighten that left leg, keep your hip high and then just lower your left foot so it hovers just beside your right. Feel that connection to your center as you bring your knee in, shift forward, shoulders right over the wrists. Push down with those straight arms, doming around the entire back body. And then step the foot all the way forward between the hands as you lower your right knee. Use your inhale, reach the arms all the way up towards the sky. Good, couple breaths right here. So find now your attention into your right foot. Push the foot down more than the knee. Feel what that does to your hamstring, and then lift the right hip point higher. Left hand grabs a hold of the right wrist, and then we side stretch over towards the left. And as you go for that sensation of stretch to the ribs, recommit to lifting that right hip up. Beautiful. Sliding that right knee forward, and then roll the chest towards the sky. Inhale, come back up. Release 2 hands to the floor. You lift your back knee up off the mat. Make the back leg strong like plank as you take it into the twist. Left arm towards the sky. And feel the 2 shoulders on the back body so that you can lengthen your right rib cage forward. And against that, reach to the inner heel of the right foot. Pull the inner thigh of the right leg back so that you're stretching from your right hip in 2 opposite directions. Release your left hand down to the floor. Chest stays open as you step to your plank pose. Shift forward to lower chaturanga. Inhale, feel the feet press, the inner thighs lifting. Shoulders back and downward facing dog, exhale. Breathe in and breathe out. Beautiful, you guys. Inhale, right leg lifts towards the sky. Again, as you exhale, bring the right knee in to touch the nose. Shift the shoulders right over the wrists. Beautiful. We'll step the right foot forward between the hands. Stay here as you spin your back heel down towards the floor. Hug your right hip in. Bring your right hand to your outer right thigh. Reach your left arm forward in space. So you're staying low. Use your right hand to pull the right thigh back. Stand more into your back foot. Make your back heel strong. And then from that left hip, can you reach all the way through the left fingertips? Find that length. Bring your right arm to meet your left arm. And inhale, rise it all the way up to your warrior 1. Exhale at the top. Beautiful. So feel the firmness of the hands coming closer together while the shoulders continue to spread wide apart. And then the connection from your hip points all the way to your pinky fingers. And then all we're going to do is bring your palms to touch. Keep the elbows lifting and bend your elbows so your fingers start to lean behind your head. And then wrap your elbows towards each other and lift them towards the sky. And maybe you'll start to just lean the torso upright into the support of the fingertips. Notice if it's your eyes doing more of the lifting. Can you feel the head leaning into the hands and lift your chest higher to the sky? Good. Keep this lift and then bring your head upright. Now zipper the front body as the arms rise up towards the sky. And then exhale, release. Hands to the mat. We'll step to your plank. And however you want to get to your dog as your exhale. Beautiful. Left leg it lifts as we inhale. Exhale, bring the knee in to touch the nose, shift the shoulders right over the wrists, and then step your foot forward. Stay low, back heel to the floor, left hand to your hip, right arm forward in space. So use your left hand to pull the left thigh back so you can truly stand into the right foot more than your left foot. Can you drive your right heel down and let that be an extension through the spine? Left arm to meet the right. Beautiful. And inhale, come all the way up. Exhale at the top. And so as you sit down into the front leg, continue to pull the left thigh bone back. Continue to find the anchoring of that back inner heel. And then lift from the front spine, reach the shoulders around and all the way up to the pinky fingers. And then keep your elbows this high, bring your palms to touch. Keep the elbows high as you bend your elbows, fingers reach back and down towards the nape of your neck. And then just start to lean the head back. Feel a sense of Sphinx pose here. So as the shoulders spread, you can lift your sternum, the collarbones towards the sky. And as you sit a little lower into the front leg, continue to remind the low back to lengthen, the low belly to lift. One more breath. Good. And then feel how the front body gathers in. Reach the arms straight up towards the sky. And then exhale, release. Hands to the mat. Step to your plank. However you want to get to downward facing dog is the exhale. Beautiful, you guys. Full breath in. Long breath out. And then to go ahead and come onto your two forearms at the same time and walk it out for forearm plank. So same work here like Sphinx. Press more into the hands. Try to pull your elbows towards your feet. Work to open the collarbones. And against that, find the lifting of the hip points and the low belly. We're going to swivel over towards the right side. So swivel your heels towards the right and you can stagger or stack your feet. It's up to you. Bring your left hand to your hip. Yeah, so forearm Vashisthasana. As you press into your right hand, continue to pull your right elbow towards your feet. Feel the right shoulder blade move into the chest. And then it feels like there's a twist. Roll the right ribs all the way up to the left collarbone. Beautiful, you guys. Top arm reaches towards the sky. Internally rotate, so palm faces the wall behind you. We're going to bring the arm back and let the left hand find the bottom tip of that right shoulder blade. And just as a way to kind of tease that right shoulder blade to lift your chest to the sky. Very nice, you guys. Continue to roll your top hip to the wall you're facing and the collarbones to the ceiling. Top arm reaches as you inhale. Come back to your forearm plank as you exhale. We're going to go straight over to the second side. Swivel your heels. Staggering your feet if you need to. Start with your top hand on your hip. Feel the two shoulder blades like Sphinx, pulling your collarbones to the fingertips. Gather your ribs in. So there's a sense of hips moving to the wall you're facing, ribs are moving to the wall behind you. Top arm reaches to the sky. And then we're going to internally rotate. So the arm's going to reach back behind you and the other way, almost like a reverse prayer. Yes. And let the fingers slide to find the left shoulder blade. Tease that left shoulder blade into the chest and feel that twist from your left ribs all the way up to your right collarbone. Can you get long through both sides of the waist? Nice work, Monica. Inhale, top arm reaches towards the sky. Exhale, come back to your forearm plank and lower into Sphinx. Press down into your hands. And as you press into your hands, also press into your feet. Coil the chest forward. And then all I'm going to invite you to do is literally lift your hands push your hands down and lift your elbows just a millimeter off the floor. And then squeeze your elbows together. And then can you still drag your hands towards your feet here? Pull the shoulder heads back. Smiling is such a good thing. Lift the collarbones. Lift the ears. Feel the head leaning back and drag the arms towards your feet. And lower all the way down. Beautiful, you guys. Back to your forearm plank pose. Curl the toes under. Back to your first side, Vashisthasana on the right. So again, left hand can stay at your hip or left arm can stay to the sky. It's totally up to you. Two shoulders on the back body. Take an inhale. And then slowly lower your hips towards the floor. And then exhale, lift the hips up. 1. Inhale, we lower the hips. Exhale, we lift the hips. 2. Inhale, listen to my count. Exhale, 3. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. 1 more. Inhaling. Exhale, lift. Keep the lift. Come back to forearm plank. Beautiful work. Right over to the second side. And again, right hand can be to your hip or arm to the sky. It's totally up to you. Feel that the shoulder is on the back body. Inhale. Pause as you exhale. Feel the support through the left obliques. Inhale, lower the hips down. Exhale, lift the hips up. Good. Try to keep the shoulders stable. Inhale, lower. Nice job, you guys. Exhale, lift. That's 2. Slow inhale. Nice, Cindy. Exhale, up. 2 more. We lift. Last one, you guys. Chest stays high, lower, and lift. Keep the hips high. Come back to your forearm plank. You have 5 full breaths right here. Feel free to interlace the fingers if you'd like. Coil your chest forward. Use the reach of your legs. 1 more breath. Soft neck. And lower back down into Sphinx. Walk your hands back. Come into upward facing dog. Press into the hands, also press into the feet. We're still in up dog. Can you lift your inner thighs? Lift your back ribs a little higher to the sky. Then keep the lift as you come to plank. It's like it makes sense to elevate up. And downward facing dog, exhale. Beautiful, you guys. On the breath, right leg lifts. Exhale, step the foot forward between your hands. Back heel spins, rise to your inhalation, warrior 1. We're going to just pass through warrior 2 as we exhale. Reverse the warrior as you inhale. Slide your left hand as far down your leg. Reach up to the right fingertips. And now straighten your right leg as you inhale. Big full reach forward into your triangle pose as you exhale. And as you ground into that big toe of your front foot, work to pull the outer right thigh bone back. And let's actually bring that top arm behind us and come into that half wrap variation. And wherever that left hand is arrived, could you actually soften the elbow and work to find the left shoulder blade doing more of the opening through the chest? And just like we did in that forearm Vashisthasana, notice how there's a sense of a twist. From your right ribs, roll the left collarbone to the sky. And as you do that, can you gather your ribs into the midline? Look down, and as you look down, keep your left shoulder lifting towards the ceiling. Start to shift forward into half moon. Wherever you choose to place your hand, it doesn't matter, but put enough of a bend into your standing knee so that you can recommit to the right thigh, pulling back to the left leg. Beautiful, you guys. And then remember that side work that we just did in forearms Vashi. Lift up to the right side of your ribs. Fill the right ribs all the way up to the left collarbone. You can stay here, or you can bend your lifted leg and grab a hold of the foot for Chapasana. Some of you are going to get wild and crazy and use your right hand to grab a hold of the foot. Some of you guys are going to keep it quite classical and use your top hand to grab a hold of the foot. Whichever variation you're in, can you continue to drive into your standing heel? Lift up through the right hip point. Lift up through the right side waist. Beautiful, Anne. Everybody release the foot with control. Both arms extend. Right hand to the floor, left arm towards the sky. Take a big full breath in. Start to bend your standing leg. We're going to go slower than you want. Lifted leg higher. Reach the lifted leg way back. Not even down, way back to find your triangle. Nice, Andrew. Feel your 2 feet on the ground. Take a full breath here. Come all the way up with straight legs. Bend your front leg back to your warrior 2. Plug the right thigh in as you reverse the warrior on the inhalation. And then release. Hands to the mat. Step to your plank. Vinyasa or dog as you exhale. And when you arrive in dog, commit to the lift of the arms, the lift of the chest. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step the foot forward. Back heel spins as you rise on the inhalation, reach the arms up. And then we open it up to your warrior two on the exhalation. Beautiful. Adjust the feet as you need to. Use the right thigh hugging in to lift your left hip a little higher. Reverse the warrior as we inhale. Anchor that left tailbone down. Whitney, breathe across the back ribs. Thank you. Straighten your front leg as you inhale. And then exhale, shift forward into your triangle pose. Notice if you're making it a back bend here. So oftentimes we get a little short on the left side of the waist. So work to lift the left hip point. Pull the hip points towards your shoulders and collarbones, and then let that top arm reach back behind you and come into the half wrap variation. Also check in with the left shoulder, you guys. Drive the left shoulder down the back, and have a sense here of breathing your breath across the back of your ribs. As you stay in this half wrap variation, anchor your left sit bone down towards the floor. Nice, you guys. As you look down, keep the right chest open and shift forward into your half moon. Notice the pelvis is somewhat on the diagonal, but can you still keep your collarbones reaching towards the ceiling? Can you let the left side of your waist roll the right chest, right collarbone to the ceiling? And then standing leg, wrap your left sit bone towards that right foot. You can stay here, or you can bend your knee for Chapasana. You can get fancy, and whether it's the top hand or the bottom hand, it doesn't matter. Notice when the leg kicks back. Work to draw the hip points up towards your belly as you kick the leg back. Nice, Diana. Last breath in, you guys. Slowly release the foot with control. Feel the tailbone lengthen to that lifted leg, the sides of the waist reaching forward. As you open up the arms wide, put a really big bend into your standing knee. Stay here. Can you keep the left side of the waist lifting? Beautiful work. And reach way back to find your triangle pose. So your 2 feet on the ground. Use your top hand. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Bend your front leg back to your warrior two. Let's reverse it one more time as we inhale. Stretch and open through the left side of the waist. And then release. Hands down to the mat. Step to your plank. Lower all the way down to the floor. Come back into your forearms, sit up for Sphinx pose. And whether you have your hands interlaced or not, it's totally up to you. I want you to feel your feet pressing, so much so that your inner knees lift, your inner thighs lift. And then against that, push your hips and your pubic bone to the floor. And then take an inhale and lift your ribs up a little higher. And then see if you can't lift your navel up a little higher. And then can you isolate and lift your hip points up a little higher? So now you just have your pubic bone and your thighs and your feet pressing. And then could you lift your pubic bone up? So now your pelvis is up off the floor. Can you still stay in Sphinx in the upper chest? As the feet press, feel the tops of your thighs lift. One more breath. And then we'll slowly lower together, slowly. Thighs first. Pubic bone next. Hip points. Belly. And chest. I feel like we should do that one more time. Back into your Sphinx. Feel the lift of the ribs. Feel the lift of the low navel. Scoop the navel to the spine. Then can you isolate and lift just your hip points? Can you then lift your pubic bone? And then start to firm your feet into the floor, your knees up, and then lift your thighs up off the floor. Shoulders on the back body. My voice is trembling, so should yours. Chest open. Can you still lift the ears to the sky? Feet stay active. Lower your top thighs. Lower your pubic bone. Lower your hip points. Release the belly. Walk your hands back, upward facing dog as you inhale. Same work of the legs. And downward facing dog as we exhale. Right leg lifts as you inhale. Exhale, step the foot forward between your hands. Adjust your feet, find your crescent pose. Reach the arms up towards the sky. And then we're going to bring the two hands to your hip points. Work to lift your hip points up and feel your sit bones drop down. Front foot, active bend into your front knee, pull your front heel back, find the hamstring of the front leg. Back foot, lift the heel up so that the heel is lifting right over the toes of the back foot. You're going to keep that heel up, your right and left hip point up, and then slowly bend your back knee so it's an inch off the floor. But if you prefer, Will, to do this with the tops of your feet down on the floor, that's also fine. Heather, you too. Hug the ankles in, hug the shins in. Notice it's your right heel moving back and it's your left heel moving forward. I want you to stay this low in your front leg, like you have a book on your top thigh, and then see if you can't lift your back leg to straight. 1. Inhale, slow, lower. Pull the heel forward, back leg. Stay this low in your front leg, Abby, slow down. Straighten your back leg. 2. We're just gonna do one more, you guys. Inhale, slow, lower. Chest up, lean the chest back. Keep your back heel high, straighten your back leg. Reach the arms to the sky. 1 breath in your full crescent. Straighten the back leg, lift the chest. And exhale, release. Hands to the mat. Find your way to downward dog, however you want. Left leg, it lifts as we inhale. Really nice job, you guys. Exhale, step the foot forward between your hands. Rise yourself into your crescent pose. And then when you get there, bring your hands to your hips. There's a feeling with your hands at your hips. Relax the shoulders. Pull your elbows back so there's a sense of opening up the chest. And then use your fingers, lift the hip points up. Big bend into your front knee. And then start to work your back knee. As you start to lift your heel of your back foot forward, you'll slowly lower your back knee so it is an inch off the floor. Nice, Kate. And then just like we began, feel the ankles hugging like in Virasana. Feel the shins hugging. Do you need to lift more through that right hip point? Stay low in your front leg. Keep your back heel this high and then try to straighten your back leg up towards the sky. And then slow, inhale, we bend the back knee. Lift the frontal hip points, lengthen through the back ribs. And then lift the back leg to straighten it. Beautiful. 1 more. Inhale, we bend it. Try to stay low in your front leg. Move your back heel forward. And then lift the back leg to straighten it. Now reach your arms to the sky. Rise everything up. And exhale, release. Hands to the mat. Step to your plank pose. However you want to get to downward facing dog. Rise high up onto your toes as you bend your knees, look between your hands, step or hop to the top of the mat. We open to lengthen, we fold to exhale. Heel toe your feet so they're hip distance apart. Peace fingers to your big toes. Little bend into your knees as you pull your chest forward. Find Sphinx in the upper chest. Try to slide your shoulders towards your hips. And as you do that, can you lift your bottom ribs up? As you exhale, fold. Let the head hang. Lift actively the shoulders towards the sky. And try firming the quadriceps, lifting the kneecaps. And if you put a little bit more bend into the knees, can you drop the front of your spine more? Keep your legs as they are as you inhale, straighten your arms. Pada Hastasana this time, Pada foot, Hasta hands, and exhale, fold. And as those toes press down, can you actively lift the forearms and the shoulders up? Try lifting one heel up off the floor. Lift the bottom ribs. Try lifting the other heel up off the floor. Lift the bottom ribs. Try lifting both heels up off the floor. Both heels down to the mat. Hands to your hips. Little bend into your knees, and inhale, come all the way up. Beautiful. Bending your knees, Utkatasana, chair pose. Hands to the floor, pause here. Rise up onto the toes of your feet, Bakasana, or just find your way to downward facing dog. So in Bakasana, can you feel that the heels are trying to lift towards your sit bones? And against that, your sit bones are dropping to the heels. Then lift your bottom ribs a little higher. Janine, bring your feet together. Yes. And then find your way to downward facing dog. Beautiful work, you guys. Inhaling. And exhale. Drop into your forearms. This time we're going to walk it in for dolphin. And whether you choose to have your hands interlaced or not, it's totally up to you, but do keep the elbows hugging in. Feel the head drop, feel your bottom ribs lift. Do you remember in that first Warrior One where we were connecting our hip points to our elbows? Find that here. Connect the elbows all the way up to those armpit bandhas, those of you that were in class yesterday, all the way up to the hip points. And then lift your inner thighs a little higher to the sky. Beautiful. Right leg towards the ceiling as we inhale. Point the toes of the right foot as you hug your left thigh in. And then get really high up onto the ball of your bottom foot. Keep your right leg as it is. You're just going to bend your knee. Bring the heel towards the sit bone. And then try to lift your right knee higher to the sky. Beautiful. Now straighten that right leg where it is in space. And exhale, lower the right leg down. And left, inhale. Lift up to the left waist. Find the connection from left elbow to left hip. And then get really high up onto the toes of the right foot. Lift your left leg higher. Now keep your left leg this high as you bend your knee without lowering the knee. Keep the knee lifting towards the sky. And then straighten that left leg up. And lower your left leg down. And rest in child's pose. Woo. So I'm going to invite you just for a moment or two to either try that again. You might want to hop up into pincha. You might feel like you want to straighten your arms and hop up into handstand. I see you. Try something. Go to the wall. Kick up against the wall. Wherever you are, connect from what's on the floor to your armpits all the way to your hip points. Breathe more breath across the back of the ribs. Janine, check in with that left elbow. Thank you. Nice, Cindy. You guys, everybody use your legs, those of you that are inverting. Reach up through the feet, and you walk your hips in a little bit more. Good, you guys. And then we're ready. We'll come onto our shins and set up for camel pose. So whether you have your toes curled under or not is totally up to you. I do like the feedback that the feet with the toes pointed gives me. So with your feet in line with your knees, look at them. Look back at your feet and notice if they are actually truly behind your knees or not. And then try to push again your feet down into the floor, like you could lift your knees up. Feel the connection of your hamstrings. And then with your hands at your hip points, zipper your hip points up towards your belly button. So you're stretching the front of your thighs. Can you keep that and allow the inner thighs to release back? And then slide your hands to your back body, towards your butt, very similar to yesterday's class. And as we have the elbows bent, can you pull the elbows towards one another? And then as you stay here, can you soften the shoulders away from the ears? As if someone was pulling the elbows back, start to coil the chest out of the spine. And it's not that I'm inviting you to go back, but continue to lift up to go back. Continue to lift up through the sideways to go back. As you continue to go up to go back, let the shoulder blades serve the sternum towards the ceiling. And if it makes sense, you'll grab a hold of your feet, same time. And as you press your feet down into the floor, start to lift your chest higher to the sky. Inner thighs still rolling back. Abby, push your thighs forward if you can. Yep. And then press up onto your shins. Inhale, come all the way up. Sit back on your heels. Everybody just take your two hands and place them over the front of your heart. Feel what that did to your heartbeat. Connect back into your breath to slow it down. We're going to do two more. If you're like, no, we're not, you can come onto your back and do bridge pose. Some of you guys truly prefer Urdhva, but if you can, we'll continue with camel. So go ahead and lift your hips back up. And then ground into the feet. And I think camel is such an important pose to go slow with. It really is about the importance of lifting to lengthen. The back is just a result of the space we're gathering. So hands by your side and then bring your hands back. Fingers lengthening the tailbone down, and then inhale, coil to lift. There's a sense that the back of your ribs are lifting the sternum to the sky. That was beautiful, you guys. Recommit to the shoulder softening. When it's time, your hands will reach back and grab the feet. And it's the hands that push the feet down to lift the chest up. And then push into those shins. Inhale, come all the way back up. Sit back on your heels. Take a moment to breathe. As if you weren't before. And then, as my teacher says, we don't want to wait too long because nothing happens. So let's just finish with the third time's a charm. If it's going well, you might want to bring your palms behind your back for reverse prayer. And notice if you're folding at your low back. Rather, be more interested in the length of the back, the low back, and start to just lift, lift, lift to the go back. Every side of the waist is reaching out of the feet, pressing. Check in with the shoulders, soften the back of the throat. Beautiful. Very nice, you guys. And then as you come all the way back up, sit back on your heels. And if you come up and you're like, oh, my back, then maybe next time you don't go as far. So there's always a sense of controlling where you are in space. Bring your two hands to the floor. Step to your plank pose. Lift, lift, lift the lowest part of your spine, almost like you're rounding in scared cat. And then downward facing dog, exhale. Take your feet as wide as your mat, maybe even take a shorter downward facing dog. With your right hand, grab a hold of your left ankle. A little short pull of the hips back, release the spine. And then second side, right hand back to where it was, left hand to your right ankle. And then release your hand back to where it was. Rise up onto your toes, jump yourself through, come onto your backs. Feet to the floor. If your low back is a little tender from the back bends or just in life, then you can grab a block and place it between your shins. If you don't have a block, don't even worry about it. Reach your arms up towards the sky. We're going to interlace the hands behind our head. Take a moment here, relax the shoulders away from the ears and lift the elbows up. Full breath in, and then press into your feet, and as you exhale, push your ribs into the floor. Good. Feel that connection. And then feet to the mat, take another inhale. This time as you exhale, curl the upper body up off the floor. And then inhale, lower back down. Good, and again, exhale, curl up, connect the ribs into the hips, hollow the belly to the spine. And inhale, lower. Exhale, curl up. And inhale, lower. Good, we're gonna add on. Exhale, curl up. Legs extend 45 degrees. Place your feet back to the floor, press into the heels, lift your chest higher, and inhale, lower. Again, exhale, curl up. Relax the shoulders. Legs extend any amount, 45 degrees. Lower is harder, higher is easier. Feet to the mat, lift your chest, lift your tailbone, and inhale, lower. Exhale, curling. Good, try to keep the low back flat as you extend your legs. Many of you guys can lift those shoulders a lot higher, feet to the floor, lift, 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 like Bakasana, lift everything up. And inhale, lower. Nice, you guys, 2 more. Exhale, we curl. Inhale, legs extend. Feet to the mat, lift. And inhale, lower. Good, it's like a breathing practice. Exhale, curl. Inhale, extend. Feel the release of the inner thighs. Feet to the mat, lift everything up. And inhale, last one. Exhale, we curl. Legs extend as you inhale. Extend from your tailbone out through those feet. Feet to the mat, lift your shoulders higher than you thought possible. Beautiful. And lower all the way down. Nice work, you guys. Go ahead and hug your knees into your chest. Give them a little rock and roll side to side. And then come into happy baby. Grab a hold of behind your thighs or the outside edges of your feet. Cross at your knees. Come into Gomukhasana legs. And as you grab a hold of the opposite shin or foot, there's a feeling of your hips moving forward while you pull the feet away from you. Soften the jaw. Switch the cross of the legs. And try to relax your head, the shoulders. Hug both knees into your chest. Keep your right knee in your chest, straighten your left leg long on the mat. And you straighten your left leg long, reach to the heel. Try to reach the heel so far forward that you feel it pull your pelvis with you. And you can keep the leg up or not, it's up to you, but can you release the inner left thigh down a little bit more? So there's this widening of the left hip towards the navel. And then with your left hand, grab a hold of your right foot, open up your right arm towards the sky. And then you're just going to take it into the twist. So if your left leg was lifted, you'll lower your left foot down and just gently take that right knee across into a twist. And if you want, you can stay here. Some of you might choose to bend your left leg, and with your right hand, you'll grab a hold of the left foot. Yep. Keep reaching through the left leg, the left thigh, the left knee. Roll the chest open. Release the left foot if you have it. As you exhale, hug your right knee back into your chest, come to center. And then as you bring your left knee in to meet your right knee, go ahead and switch sides. Straighten your right leg forward on the mat. Reach through that straight leg. Try to get the hamstring of that right leg to the floor. Yes. And then you'll lower that the straight leg if it isn't already. You'll take it into the twist. So right hand to your left knee and cross it over the body. And if you did on the first side, you'll bend that straight leg and grab a hold of the foot. Let the chest open. And feel a sense of lengthening through the left side of your waist, the outer left hip. Straighten that bottom leg. As you exhale, hug both knees into your chest. Give yourself a little rock and roll side to side. And then just set yourself up for Shavasana. Let your legs extend out. Let the shoulders soften away from the ears. Allow the body to completely melt into the support of the earth. When you're ready, you'll give yourself a full inhale through the nose. Long exhale out the mouth. Let your body completely drop into the support of the earth. And feeling the effects of your practice. Feeling the effects of how life is showing up for you, how the body is responding. In these moments of quietness, we can hear what our body is truly saying to us. And oftentimes a little bit of movement helps us find that sense of quiet. Feel free to stay in your Shavasana as long as you'd like. If you're ready, start to deepen the awareness of your breath. As you bend your knees, you'll gently roll yourself over to one side and press yourself up to a quiet, comfortable seated position. And as you sit up tall, just take this moment to just observe the connection to your breath, observe the connection to your body, and notice how you feel. And it's with this sense of clarity that we have a greater understanding of how we're truly showing up today. And we can be in better relationship with ourselves, those in our close quarantine contact. Bring your hands together. May there be peace in our hearts. May there be peace in our homes. And may there be peace in this world. Namaste, everybody.